Hello, 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 it's Samantha here. How are you doing tonight, this evening, this week? It is Friday the 18th of August and I'm popping on quick just to talk about the exhibitions that I went to last week. I don't know if any of you watching live near Manchester or are able to travel to Manchester might have tickets to the exhibition I'm about to speak about, but I actually found it to be quite, it was interesting. It was fantastic, to be honest. It was great to be able to see Yayoi Kusama's work in person. It's kind of a bucket list moment because I never thought in a million years I'd get to see any of her artwork unless I could win the lottery and travel to Japan. So I went to visit with my husband and my little one the Yayoi Kusama exhibition, Yumi and the Balloons, last Thursday afternoon. We were only there for about 20 minutes because literally we had a quick walk around because it's a huge space and there's a lot there to look at, but once you've kind of seen it from especially the top and then you go in, there's not really a huge amount to see unless you want to spend a lot longer than we did. But it was really hot. I was absolutely boiling hot because obviously they are sculptures that are all blow up sculptures, and so once you got in there it was pretty cool from what I saw. You will not be disappointed with her new exhibition, and apparently I think that we were the last, or Manchester is the last place that the exhibition actually will be shown. I think it's going back to Japan after this, or maybe I don't know what's happening with it next. But yeah, there was plenty of parking outside the Mozzie and there's disabled parking outside the venue itself. The venue was massive. I'm more of a classics in architecture kind of a person, so I wasn't too I didn't really like the design of the actual building. I prefer older buildings, to be honest, but it was quite interesting. If you like contemporary architecture, I think you're going to really like the building. When you go in, there is like a huge ground floor and you've got a eatery place there and a little bar so you can get something to eat. There's a place for the kids to do something, and there's plenty of access to loos. I'm not sure about the disabled loo because I didn't use it. I used the normal toilets. Getting up to where the exhibition is, there's a lift, so there's staff on hand at all times if you need help. I wore my sunflower lanyard, so I think that also helped a lot as well. So I will put anything I talk about underneath this video, so get yourself one of these lanyards. I think it's a really good idea. So once I got into the exhibition space, there was 3 floors to look on, going from the top to the bottom. So the lift took you to each of them, so the staff were there on hand because they had to let you press a button and take you down and then take you back up again. It was a fantastic accessible space for anyone with mobility or wheelchair issues. And there was like the infinity mirror room type thing. It was just this big ball that you could go in to have a look, but I think if we'd have stayed to look at that, we'd have been in the queue for about an hour, and it was so hot. We went on one of the hottest days of last week. We then after that we went to Altrincham for a cup of tea and a wander around Altrincham in the sunshine because it was really hot and really sunny. So that was quite nice after being in, and it was a bit dark, but obviously with all the big sculptures it was quite lit up, and it was kind of cool that on a bit or all of it you could kind of be right next to the sculptures and you were like a very tiny thing in this huge massive world. So if any of you remember Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, it was kind of like that. It reminded me of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. It was it was pretty interesting, and I really had a good time when we went. And I was blown away by how accessible the place is as well. It's fantastic. They really have thought everything through. It's apparently not finished being built yet, so I don't know how much bigger it's going to be, but it looked pretty finished on the outside and in the exhibition space I was in. I came away with just a couple of things. The exhibition catalogue for Yumi and the Balloons. Now this book, please do not buy it online. If you are near to Manchester, or you have anyone who lives in Manchester, you might live further away, ask them to get this for you, because everywhere else online is selling it for about £30. I went online just to see how much I'd have to budget to go in with. Now I thought, well, if it's 30 quid, I'm not going to bother. But it was £20. The gift shop, by the way, I think what they must do is, because it's a very, very small exhibition space, I've got exhibition on the brain, very, very small gift shop. I think it's mainly going to be set up for just the exhibitions they'll be showing there. That's my guess. They didn't have anything else there. It was all Yayoi Kusama merchandise and things like that. There was pin badges, socks, notebooks, exhibition catalogues. This, like I said, cost me £19.99. Amazon, WH Smith's and everywhere else seemed to be selling it for about £30. Even eBay, it's just over 30 quid. So I came away with this, which was, it's full of information about her previous exhibitions and life as an artist and things. And obviously there's also her other stuff there as well. And she's not just, she doesn't just do installations and huge sculptures, she does painting as well. So yeah, it was well worth £20. Her entire catalogue was there, but it was £55. I would have loved to have got it, but my daughter's still on summer holidays for a few weeks, so I'd rather go to lots of places of interest and fun than buy a book, which hopefully will come down in price at some point somewhere, who knows. I also came away with it's a series of, I think it's 5 concertina postcards, 2, 4, 6. So there's 6 of these in a little set, so I thought that was kind of cute. So when I get my studio up and running, I can put them on the bookshelf or something, which would be kind of cool. And then we went to, on Sunday, a few days later, we went to the Elizabeth Gaskell house, which I will give the address in a minute, if I can get into my tablet. 84 Plymouth Grove, Manchester. So I will put a link to the house underneath this, so don't worry, I'll put a link to the website. When I was there, it was interesting. I'd never been to this place before, and I knew it was kind of in Manchester somewhere, but we got there. We got there at, I think it was 10 to 2. I booked tickets the day before, about 11 o'clock at night, and then at midnight I found out there was Manchester Parade. So we had to find a separate, different way in, because we would have gone up the Parkway, but we found another way through Stretford, so that was lucky. So yeah, our tickets were for £135 or £140. I think it's £135, and we got there at £150, and they were absolutely fantastic about that. They were all really lovely. We were greeted by really smiley, a really smiley person on the desk. There is a ramp access, which you can go up and ring a bell and they'll let you in, or if you're able to get up the steps, there's a very small amount of steps and they're not very steep. I managed to get up the steps, I was okay getting up the steps. When you get in there, to each floor there is a lift, so that was absolutely fantastic, especially because I had my rollator with me as well. I didn't see the point in ringing the bell to be let in, because I could just about manage the steps. So we were there we didn't leave until 3:30. So we were there for what, just under 2 hours, something like that. And the house itself is absolutely gorgeous. I didn't know anything about Elizabeth Gaskell other than she was an author. She wrote many books, and 2 of her most famous were made into TV show series back in the 90s, I think it was, maybe early thousands, which was Cranford and North and South. And I think North and South had Christopher Eccleston in it, I'm not sure. It was a really lovely place to walk around. It's been beautifully restored, and also the volunteers were so knowledgeable. There was a volunteer in each room, so when you went in they taught told you all about her and what the rooms were used for and who visited. So I found out John Ruskin visited. I think Villette, they were taught to paint by him. The creator of the Halley Orchestra was their music teacher, and they were very academic. And for that period of time for women, being academic wasn't a thing. They were expected to become wives and then get married and look after a house. And these women didn't. Elizabeth and her sister, they didn't. Also, Beatrix Potter visited the house, and she was friends with the Brontes as well. So yeah, she was educated, and it was something very unusual for women back then. So, and also I didn't notice, I don't think anyway, there wasn't one piece of cross stitch in the house at all. I can't remember seeing any, and I've got an eye for cross stitch because I love cross stitch and samplers, and I don't remember seeing any. So that just tells you what an unusual household it was. The fact that she was more academic and into writing stories than she was doing the things that would normally be done by women of the time. And there is parking in the area. If you go on a weekend, then on Swinton Grove, which is literally around the corner from the house, there is parking all day. And that's where we parked, because we went on Sunday. Not sure where you park during the week, but there will be parking around there somewhere. There is a car park not too far, an NCP car park. It didn't cost a huge amount to get in, and I don't mind paying to get into those sorts of places, because it wasn't National Trust or English Heritage. It was literally solely run and looked after by the volunteers there, and the grounds where the gardens were absolutely stunning. They were gorgeous for something that was smack bang in the middle of Manchester. It was really quite beautiful. And also there was disabled loos on each of the floors, and there was a cafe. The cafe was a bit of a squeeze to get through if you have anything like a wheelchair or a rollator. But if you had a word with the staff, I'm guessing they'd be really accommodating, because they were all really, really lovely. The gift shop is in the cafe, so that again was quite small. They also have a second-hand book sale on at the moment. I don't know how long that's going to be running for, but there was tons of books. I was just a bit sad I didn't come away with the book on Tennyson. I kind of wish I'd bought that now. But it was a very lovely place to kind of visit as a last minute kind of thing, because I mentioned it during the week and I thought, where can we go on Sunday, because I was a bit bored. So luckily I booked the tickets the evening before, and I'm glad I did, because we all had quite a lot of fun, and learning about Elizabeth Gaskell was really interesting too, and seeing the house was just stunning. It really, really was. And hearing stories about how when they redecorated the house and things, that was quite interesting. So they were the two places we visited last week, and both were quite a lot of fun. And then this week we went on a few visits as well, but that is definitely for another video, because I had so much fun at the Walker Art Gallery that 5-10 minutes I don't think is going to be long enough, because I also came away with quite a bit of quite a few goodies too. Also, I'm planning to do a stationery haul and another book haul, because I'm bound to buy some more books, mainly because I found I had some birthday money left I'd forgotten about, and I have been spending it over the last couple of days. I still have a little bit left, so there might be another book haul in that. We'll see. So I look forward to sharing that with you. Also today we just had a really quick visit to Stockport Art Gallery, which there is a show on until I think it's the end of this month, which you can go along and you can vote for which of the artists who have given their artwork for a show about Stockport itself, and you can vote for them. That was kind of cool. Free to get in there as well, and there is parking outside what used to be the college. Sadly, it looks like it's going to be knocked down or something. I don't know. It's all boarded up, which is kind of sad, because I spent a good chunk of my life there. So it's quite sad to see it in the state it is now. But yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with it, with that site next. So if you're looking for a free thing to do, if you're in Stockport, there's the Stockport Museum, Stockport Staircase House, which is at the markets, and also Stockport Art Gallery and War Memorial. So, but yeah, those two places we visited last week, they were a lot of fun, and I can quite happily say that it's worth going, especially to the Elizabeth Gaskell house. I've never had a visit to a house like that where the volunteers there, and they will literally, as soon as you get in there, will talk to you about the house and the history and the person that the house is of. Usually you go to these places and you get to have a wander around and then ask the volunteers for any added information, but you've got it's probably what took us so long, to be honest, with the volunteers telling the story of Elizabeth Gaskell and her house. So that's kind of interesting, and a little bit of Manchester history as well. And so yeah, that's it for today. I'm going to toddle off. I'm going to go and finish my cup of hot Vimto, and I'm going to go and read some more of my book. Oh, by the way, update on Miss Plum and Miss Penny. I am on page 36, or it might be 37, and it's really good so far. I'm really enjoying it. It's really easy to read. It flows really, really well, and I can highly recommend it at this point. I'm really enjoying it. Also, in the stationery haul, I'll be getting page flags, and I decided to buy them because, being dyslexic, I have to finish a page at a specific part of the book. This will help me to figure out where I've left my place, and definitely can't get mistaken and end up having to reread the same piece about 3 times, because that can get boring, which is one of the reasons I think why I have not read a book for so long. So I'm finding ways of coping whilst reading as well, so I look forward to sharing them with you as well. So I will get back to reading my book, and I will say goodbye for now and have a lovely weekend. I'm not sure what we're doing. I'm waiting for an Amazon delivery. I think that'll be Sunday, so that'll be a lot of my helpful stuff for reading, etc. I will talk to you very soon. Hopefully it'll be next week again. We'll see. It depends if I can get a video made. So I will see you later on, and thank you for joining me and spending a couple of minutes with me. And I hope you liked this video. If you did, please hit the subscribe and the subscribe button and the bell, so it will tell you when I'm uploading anything next. Anything I've spoken about, I'll put underneath the video. So until next time, have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next week. So goodbye everyone, and I hope you have a lovely evening. So I'll stop rambling and I'll say goodbye for now. Bye everyone. Bye bye.